Hi, so this is your organization lecture, and it'll be pretty brief. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the logistics of timed writes now that we're entering that world. So, timed writes, on-demand writing within a timed frame. First, I want to say this disclaimer. We are practicing for the AP Lit exam, so you should use whatever timed expectations that exam will have for you. So if you have accommodations for double time or extra time, then use those every time we practice. It's not completely inauthentic timed writing. It's something that I feel I have to do all the time. It's not called timed writing, but often I'm responding to people via email and there's a timed component to it. They need me to get back to them right away. Or, as you'll encounter in various professions, you might bill by the hour, or you might have work that's generated by the hour. Freelance writing is that way. Other professions are that way, all law. And your writing needs to be efficient. So I think we can be expansive in the way that we write, and we can identify as slow writers or quick writers or whatever it is. But the truth of the matter is, in the world, a lot of what people want from us as writers is quick responses that are efficiently timed. And I think that's where college comes up with its formula for timed writing, and the College Board, of course. It's true that at UVA, where I went to undergrad and grad school, I was frequently asked to generate essays in a timed setting. They would give us 3 hours. They would say, write 5 essays. It was really typical. So I want you to feel ready for that world. Now, I believe so much in revision and in drafting that we'll do that as well. And I don't think we need to throw out the baby with the bathwater. There's a way to do everything well, but still be mindful of the clock. All right, so this is our first assignment like that. I'm going to ask you to start timing your essays and timing these organization paragraphs. Now, it's on your honor, and that's good because you might go over, and then you would just know that. I'm asking you today to set a timer for 7 minutes. You might set a timer for 7 minutes, generate a paragraph and go, oh my gosh, I need 10 more minutes. But then you know where you are. So it's really less about meeting my deadline and more about you figuring out your rhythms. Okay, so on-demand questions. Type or handwrite? Interesting question when it comes to these. You might still wish to type your responses to these shorter assignments, the Wednesday assignments. But when we do our first timed essays 2 weeks from now, I am going to ask that you hand write it, unless your AP test is going to be a digital test. And that's true for some, and you probably know if it's you, and if not, we can talk about it. If you're taking a digital test, then keep typing. There's no reason not to. I can't even make a pronouncement about what the world is like after now, and whether when you go to college, professors won't request typed essays. I just know that the AP Lit test is handwritten for the most part and for most people. So we need to just start practicing that. All right, so I'm going to recommend you handwrite unless you know you'll be doing this digitally, the real test. If you are going to be typing, though, I'll ask you to disable your spelling and grammar checking during your writing process, and I'll show you how to do that really quick. If I've got a Google document open, all you do is go up to Tools, and Spelling and Grammar, the very first thing at the top, has these 2 options. There's a spelling option and then there's a grammar option. So I'm just asking you to go in and disable both of those. It's not because I think it's cheating. It's because it will slow you down. I'm going to show you an example with this word. We'll keep using this unit, Raskolnikov. If you type Raskolnikov and every single time you type it, the computer says, are you sure you're spelling that correctly? It will start to distract you from your point. The biggest benefit that I can see from handwriting is that we don't have those kinds of nudges from this external voice, the computer, telling us, I don't think you're doing it right. It allows us to move with speed. So if you're going to be typing it, disable those. You may always go back at the end and enable them to see if you have any quick corrections you want to make. I'm not against revision, but in the drafting process, it's really important that you be free to think. So that's what I'm recommending, or actually requiring that you do. And then if you're handwriting, it doesn't matter because you don't have those, which is perhaps the more authentic way to draft. All right. So here's our question, this question that we've already encountered with the creative analysis. So on Sunday, I asked you to think about complexities, contradictions in Raskolnikov's thought monologues or in his spoken monologues. I'm asking you to do that again, but this time specifically with the murder. Sorry, it's my dog. He murders two complete strangers or relative strangers, and the whole book carries us after that climactic moment. It's a reversion of a plot in a really effective way. So I want us to think about that most important of moments at the beginning. What are the inconsistencies between his private thoughts and his actual behavior as it relates to these murders? What are the tensions? Here is your big question, put simply, but set a timer, 7 minutes, and write a single claim paragraph. Remember the structure of those, a single sentence to start you off that is an idea sentence. Don't tell me what happened. Give me your idea about that tension or that inconsistency. What is it? How do you characterize it? And then gather some evidence for why you think what you do. Write, probably in the end, 5 to 10 sentences. Our unit of study is about gathering evidence. So I'll look at your responses, I'll find some models, and we'll talk about evidence from here on out. The prompt. Raskolnikov commits a horrendous crime for reasons that are not immediately clear. What is his motive for these murders, and how is that motive complicated or filled with tension? And that's our last assignment for the week. Once you have it, post it, please, in your BGD and then also in the discussion thread. Thank you so much.